Good morning and welcome to the first video that I'm making for Nuwe Solutions. I've been meaning to make this for ages, and you can see here just behind me is a little unit that we have hired from our local council. I'm going to turn the screen so that you can see a little bit better. Here we go. You can see it's a series of units that the council owns, and we've just got this first one here. So it's a small unit, and we want to take you along this journey with us to setting up a new manufacturing facility for food and supplements. Okay, and here we have, you can see behind me here, security. So this gate is locked out of hours, which is pretty decent. If I was auditing this facility, I would say, yeah, that's absolutely fine. We're in England, so we don't need much more than a perimeter like we've got here and gates like we've got there. And in terms of security, let me change the view, the unit here. We've replaced the door. We've had to do quite a lot of refurbishment work. We replaced the door. We've got a ring doorbell so that if nobody's here for deliveries, we can see what's going on. And yeah, that's absolutely fine. That's sufficient. And in terms of the door, we looked at really fancy thumbprint locks and things like that. Not necessary. We've simply got a key lock, and the door locks automatically behind us as we go in, unless we set it to open. Now, I've set it to open because I don't want to have to fiddle. You need two hands to unlock and open the door. So I'm going to walk straight in there in a moment just to show you the facility. Okay, so let's walk around here a little bit so that you can see there's nothing going on in this industrial estate that could contaminate food. There's no agricultural spraying or anything like that close by, or rivers that would encourage pests or anything like that. And the council does look after the perimeter quite nicely. You can see the hedges has recently been trimmed. It's not so bad. This bit of grass here, we've got a bit of weeds, but there's nothing growing up against the building, which would be a non-conformity if this was a BRC audit. So yeah, we do have to keep on top of it. I think the grass probably needs a little bit of work. You can see here as well that we've got recently a bit of digging going on there. That's because the council's investigating a damp issue that we've got on the inside, which is not great, of course. It doesn't create a hygienic environment. It's in the staff kitchen area where we've got this damp issue. So not directly affecting the production environment, but not at all fantastic. You can see the side of the building here. We've got this pipe work here. This is simply coming from the boiler that heats the water, and also for the heating of the facility. We've also that's venting for the boiler up there. This is also venting, needs to be in case of water condensing and dripping into a soakaway that we've recently created. We've also got this recent new plumbing that will go to this drain that will be opened up. So that is for a wash area that we are creating. And let's just take a little look at this defect that we've got here in the wall. Not ideal for the facility. So to maintain the facility, we'll close this up. This is simply wear of the cement. That's all it is, but it doesn't actually go into the building. This is not a pest proofing issue. It's simply a maintenance issue. It's got the same thing a little bit higher up there as well. But in terms of pest proofing, if I was auditing this facility, there's nothing to worry about at all. Let's just keep going. So this is simply the side of the building, and there's nothing behind here to particularly note, except we've got a gas cupboard over here that goes to the source of the gas into the building for heating purposes, and for the boiler, of course, as well. And we have over here an outside tap, really useful. But if you're looking for a facility to set up for yourselves, a manufacturing facility, really useful, but you can always fit a tap. Interestingly, the water pipe, we noticed, coming from the water that comes into the building, the pipe that they've used to come across the factory to this point here, we can't even tell if that's a food grade pipe, so we're going to replace that. So we're doing quite a bit of plumbing, quite a bit of refurbishing going on here. Can I just say that in terms of timelines, if you, from the point of getting a facility, renting or buying, if you think you're going to be, take about 3 months to set up and get going, add another 3 months. All right, it takes so much longer than you think just to get through the snagging list, that stops you from getting going. So yeah, there's And people take long, you know, you think, oh, you know, my landlord, the council in this case, oh, they'll sort that out. No, everything takes 3 times as long as you think it's going to take. All right, and so this is just the warehouse door where we get deliveries, and we've got a fire exit door, and that's it. So there's the rest of the units over there. We've got a bit of maintenance to do to keep on top of weeds, etc. I'd have to sort that out. That is potentially a non-conformity because it's growing up against the side of the building. And of course, that kind of growth encourages harborage for pests. So that's why it would be an issue. Now let's take a look at this. You can see our neighbours are storing all sorts. All right, there's a bit of a dump area around the back there. Nothing I can do about it. Right, it's out of my control. That is somebody else's problem. Nothing I can do. It would not be a non-conformance for me. But if it was really close by, I should demonstrate to the auditor that I've at least tried. I've talked to them. Yeah, not a problem. It's not out of control. It's not particularly close by, so it wouldn't be an issue. And that's it. Now, I think the only other consideration while we're out here is this warehouse door. So you might think to yourself, well, what about deliveries in bad weather? This is amazing. This day, I picked the right day to make the first video. We've got blue skies here in England, quite rare. So what about rainy weather though? What about accepting a delivery? I don't have a covered area to protect the goods. It's not an issue because drivers can back up. You can see we've got this ramp here, and drivers can back up literally into the warehouse. I wouldn't say go in, but right up to the door, and so the goods can be protected that way. So I don't think there's any issue about needing a covered area. Not necessary. In terms of birds nesting, this is a really nice design. You can see the roof there. There are no eaves at all that I would need to net in or put spikes or anything like that. So we've got no concerns for birds roosting or nesting. We are actually quite close to the docks here in King's Lynn in Norfolk in England. And yes, there are seagulls and things like that in the area, but there's no particular nesting going on. We haven't noticed any issues at all for this particular unit. But I'm going to pause and just pause the video and walk back through to the front so that I can enter from the front and show you the unit inside. Okay, we're back at the front door, and I had locked myself out. So the door does lock automatically, and we have a little gadget here that can keep it unlocked, but it failed me, which is good for security. So luckily I had the keys on me. I do have a little backup here, so that's really good to have for staff, just in a little lockbox spare key. So as we come in here, you can see that's the entrance to the little warehouse area. We have here entrance to the office, which I won't show you today because we're fitting radiators. It's an absolute mess. We have recently refurbished the toilet here at the entrance, so that is for visitors and staff. So that's nicely done up now. And we have the entrance to the factory, which we'll go in shortly. We could do with painting the doors. We haven't done painting in here yet, but we have done a lot of refurbishment. We have here waiting a little display board that is lockable. And in here I will put business insurance documents. I will put the quality policy showing the site's intention to make safe, legal products, the right quality, and our intention to continuously improve the culture of the business. So this is setting up nicely for BRCGS GFSI certification. All right, and let's just walk into the factory now. I'm going to give you an overview. Please bear in mind that this is a work in progress. This is organized chaos. We are not yet manufacturing saleable product, that is for sure, because it is currently not fit for purpose. But you can see here, as we found the factory, sorry, bumped the camera there. When we found this unit, we thought, just put the lights on for you. We thought this is not so bad. This won't take much work. Wow, as I say, don't underestimate how much work is required to set up a hygienic environment. All right, now you need a clean space to manufacture. This is the thing. What is a clean space? We have 4 levels in my mind of suitability. The first level is a warehouse like this. Absolutely fine for a workshop. You can see we will have a workshop right at the back there, and that will be walled off. and that will be our general workshop area for general maintenance, which is fine. And but currently the whole place is a workshop. This is because we are refurbishing the area. So first level, I would say, is workshop area, and then general warehouse area, right? And the general warehouse area will be near the red fire door there. That's where we will store our products. Packaging will probably store up on the mezzanine floor. Area requiring least hygiene controls. All right. We then need a level where we can have open product, where we can actually handle food and or supplements eventually. Now, this is the next level of hygiene, and we have this kitchen area here. I will take you into our kitchen area. And this kitchen area will eventually be suitable, I think, as a prep room. And you can see we're simply doing trials. Nothing serious going on here. We've got a sieving machine. We've enclosed the boiler here. So once we've got a latch on that door, we'll be able to close it properly. And here we have some stainless steel furniture. You can see we're doing trials with a little filling machine here. Nothing fancy at all. We've got a weighing scale. So this is just a general enclosed area. Is this area suitable for handling open food? Yeah, absolutely. We have a floor that we need to repaint. Right, it's just a grey warehouse floor paint. But with all the refurbishing we've been doing and trials we've been doing, we've been scuffing this floor quite a lot, so we're going to repaint the floor. Another issue with this area was we had this open drain. We still have the open drain that you can see there, but it was a really horrible open drain made of ceramic, years worth of caked muck inside that drain. That's been replaced, cemented in and replaced with a stainless steel drain cover. We will repaint the flooring around the drain cover so that the floor is impervious and cleanable. Okay, what we have done here is this was brick, painted brick, and so we've put the hygienic cladding. Now this cladding is not expensive. It's 23 pounds from Monkey Cladding. We get it from, and that's for a 2.4 by 1.2 sheet. So we've used this hygienic cladding to close in the area and redone the electrics and things like that. Closed in some plumbing pipe work up there, but still maintained access. The other thing that we've done to make this a suitable hygiene area is replace the ceiling tiles. Those were traditional ceiling tiles, you know, the porous type, and this is a wipeable type, not very expensive at all, very easy to simply replace. Just push the old ones out, put the new ones in. We've also replaced a strip light with a couple of LED lights as well. So this is a hygienic area, it's easy to clean. We've got two sinks, one for hand washing, one for food processing and or washing up. But the idea is just behind this room is to have a washing area. So you remember on the outside there, I showed you the new drainage. So that's plumbing that's being done now to create a wash area. And I will show you what we've bought for the wash area. And it is a nice deep sink over there. This will be walled off to be a wet room. For washing up large trays, etc. So this is our formal washing up area. This I intend to be a prep room and a processing room as well. Okay, so that's the first level, I would say, of a hygienic area where you can handle open food. The next area up is a high care area, and this is where you want a better level of control, and similar to this. But our high care and high risk rooms will be on this side of the facility. We'll probably remove those rackings that we put over there for now. And we'll probably on this side of the building put our high care, high risk rooms. So high care is just where you've got a segregated area with a higher level of control, dedicated PPE when you go into that area, take the PPE off when you come out of the area, footwear controls, environmental controls. And so this will be for foods that have not received a full cook, but could support the growth of pathogens. And so this is where we'll put these high care rooms. Now these high care rooms, we intend to make them available and sell them because we ourselves want to make it possible to convert a little warehouse unit like this into a suitable production facility. We've got a lot of people manufacturing things like supplements in converted garages and things like that. As long as you achieve the relevant hygiene standards, that could be okay, but you know, we need a properly controlled area. So I look forward to being able to show you our high care, high risk rooms once we've got them manufactured and also available for sale. All right, so ours will go in that area. Now, we're not actually processing or making saleable product right now. We're just doing trials. There's my freeze dryer over there, and we've got a little hand label machine over there, which is awful. We will probably have to buy a labeling machine at some point, but you can see we're simply making samples and weighing and looking for information that we need to put on the product labels, etc. I will make a separate video on designing artwork for packaging, and it has been an absolute nightmare, and I've made lots of mistakes, but that's how I've learned as well. So I'll take you through my mistakes that might be able to help you regarding artwork, and legal labeling. All right, so over on that side will be our high care, high risk facility. Now the high risk rooms, these are all modular clean rooms. Our high risk room, which you can get, by the way, you can buy modular clean rooms, they're just so expensive. So we're looking for affordable, sensible solutions, hence the name, Never Solutions. It's new solutions. Okay, that's what the Never is. And we need practical solutions for the food and supplement industry. Now the high risk room will be exactly the same room, but we switch the fan on. So in the ceiling, you've got HEPA filtered fans, filtering air that comes into the room, and it's a laminar flow downwards and out through the bottom or out through the plastic curtains, and you therefore have a very high spec. This is the highest spec in terms of a hygienic production environment. So as soon as you switch that fan on, it converts from a high care room to a high risk room. Let's walk out of this facility. I don't think there's anything else I want to point out right now. Yes, lighting actually. Let me talk about the lighting. So the lighting in this area, you can see we've got strip lights. Now for BRC says that the lights must be protected. And some of these lights have got this metal shield on either side. Some of them don't. If I turn around here, you'll see on this side, the lights don't have that metal protective shield. And in fact, over there, we've got lights that are broken. I will just show you the broken lights with no protection at all. So we intend to replace these with LED lights that are protected. The idea is to protect it from a forklift. If you have a forklift, that could end up, if you're moving product to a high level, could end up bashing the light, or anything else that could end up breaking the light, and then you get glass contaminating the area. So that's what BRC means by protection. But you can also get strip lights that are shatterproof, and they usually have some kind of indication on them. Very hard to tell from this height whether these are shatterproof. I seriously doubt it. I think they've probably been here since the 70s. But you can get some kind of label indication as to whether the lights are shatterproof or not. But I think we just need to replace them with more energy efficient LED lights in any case. Okay, so that's the lights that need improving. Saying that, the only open areas that we'll have in this warehouse unit will be within our high care, high risk modular rooms. So we have that level of protection, and those rooms will have LED lighting on the inside as well. So anything else that I might need to consider? I don't think so. We have done our fire risk assessments. We have fitted CO2 extinguishers, which are my preference always. You can use CO2 to put out pretty much any kind of fire, and it doesn't ruin your equipment or your area. It doesn't contaminate your area because it's simply CO2. Easy to use as well. I simply need to put signage there and finish off the risk assessment. We have bought 2 of these off Amazon, these HSE posters. I need to put the contact details in the bottom there. So we've got one at the entrance and one here. And yeah, we're getting there. So the rest of what we need to do here is finish up our refurbishments. I was telling you about the water, right? So if you need water in your process, which you typically do, even if it's just for hand washing and facility cleaning, we all typically need some kind of water source. But if I just tilt the camera if you can see that hanging pipe, the hanging pipe near the light there, that hanging pipe is the water that goes all the way through to the outside tap. Now, if we try to come off that pipe for water for this washing up area and water for the little bakery that will be next door, that would be no good, because we cannot determine whether that water pipe is food grade or not. So hence the new plumbing. You can see the copper pipe work coming from the where the mains comes into the building, and that is going to be feeding the wash up area, and it will also be feeding the bakery next door, because our proofing ovens and our baking oven are steam. Steam is required in both of them. Okay, so on this side we also have to think of our utilities. So on this side we need water, but we also need three-phase electricity. Now that's the other issue that we have, and something that you want to look at when you are hunting for a facility. So we have our electrical cupboard over there in the middle between the two racks, and one of the things we asked when looking around for units to rent was whether we have the possibility of three-phase electricity. We actually do here. It's limited though, so we have only, we can only run one machine. And here we have that box on the wall, the grey box next to the freezer. That is the three-phase electricity box, but it's on the wrong side, because we need the water. So we need the water on this side of the factory, so we now have to move the three-phase supply to this side of the factory. So that's also in progress and being done as I speak. All right, so that's three-phase access. We talked about water access as well. And you might be curious as to why I have a little greenhouse sitting here in the factory. That is because this unit is very cold and we have no heating, and it's the beginning of December 2025. So we are putting the heating in place, but we also thought when the sun shines, it would be lovely to have a little sheltered place to sit. So this will be going outside, just as a sheltered place to sit when the sun is shining. All right. Another consideration is, do we buy a forklift? We really don't want to buy a forklift right now. We are counting every penny as we set up this place. And so we realize that we don't need pallet racking just yet. We will soon need some pallet racking, because this is a very small unit. But for now, in order to unload deliveries, you cannot be guaranteed that every time you get a pallet of something delivered, whether it's equipment or product, you can't guarantee that it will come with a tail lift. And so sometimes you can be stuck, and we don't want to be stuck. So we have purchased this very affordable in comparison to the price of a forklift. It is a pallet stacker. Now I just want to tilt the camera to show you the base, because you can't be guaranteed what kind of pallet you will receive the goods in on. So if I just show you there, you can see the legs. Apologies for my lack of video skills. You can see that the pallet, the foot of the pallet is very wide. That is so that whether you get a Euro or a UK pallet, you're okay. You're okay. The base of the pallet stacker goes on either side, the outside, and then the forks go into the pallet to lift the pallet, and you still have the stabilizers on the ground. Okay, a normal pallet stacker or forklift, you could have a problem with this type of pallet just here, because you've got the base. Yeah, if these weren't so wide, able to go on either side, you would end up having the base of the pallet stacker and the forks going into the pallet and ripping the pallet apart. So yeah, this wide base, I forget what it's called, but this wide base manual pallet stacker, very affordable and does the job for everything. Okay, and I think that's it for now. I will make another video as soon as this place looks a little bit better and you can see the progress that we have made. All right, bye-bye for now.